Okay.
Welcome to the Messy Dads Merry Hearts podcast. This podcast consists of two Christian dads who are dealing with the messy situations in their families, putting their trust in God to see them through. This is Scott, not TJ,
This is Jackson's dad.
and that is Jackson's dad.
Yeah.
Of
With my rebrand.
we
You
talked.
got to keep yourself fresh, right? Like we're getting out to the masses. We have reached one person down in Athens, Ohio, so it's time to keep it fresh.
There you go.
So you don't get stale and start losing fans.
That you can't. We can't go from a baker's dozen to a regular dozen.
can't do it. You can't do it.
Well, that's, we talked about of me on my phone when we were at Jeremiah's house and this stuff, and people can see us in our dress and this stuff, and so that's in that introduction. Before I could just read it and I could do inflection with my voice. Well, now people are seeing us, so I gotta come up with messy situations and different things. But we're gonna get the message across to people. We already recorded one today, and we spent quite a bit of time before we got into it. We spent a third of our time talking not about our topic to get into it. So, this could be a good one. But we're talking about fitting in. That I think that is something that all people want to a degree. To a degree, everyone is looking for a community. Everyone is looking for a group of people that they can connect with, that they can say, hey, I like that too. You were just telling me, maybe it was in our break, but you were telling me about NASCAR, and I had to learn something. And what I learned is that it's not fun enough to watch people go around in circles, that you have to listen to what they're saying through your ear. That adds to it. That I don't know of any other sport where you get to listen in onto the coach and the team and that stuff.
No, apparently it's cheating, but...
hey, I'm rooting for these people. Let me listen in on. I want to know what's happening right there on the forefront. But in NASCAR, hey, we're winning that, and so and we've talked about we both grew up with wrestling, obviously different perspectives on this stuff, but right, fighting that community, that outreach. There's people who like Dungeons and Dragons. I've never played a day in my life, and I don't plan on playing a day in my life.
Did you play DuckTales?
But by God, you best believe I will play a DuckTale game with you at 3:00 in the morning and make you question.
At a lock-in where the adults are awake and all the children are asleep.
There you go. That's right. There were no children. Let's also clarify. No children were involved.
It was for adults after all the children had fallen. Well, let's clarify. The adults were me, you, your wife Hannah, and Patty. Mm-hmm. So were there really adults? Technically, sure.
Technically, sure. By the government standard.
We were the only ones crazy enough to try to do a lock-in, so...
Yeah, and then we learned, it takes 2 years for us to figure things out. We did that 2 years. We've stopped. We did 2 years of camping out in tents, and we stopped. So... Yeah,
it's camping out in tents because... Well, we slept in the tent.
Yeah.
We woke up in the morning. We slept in a member's house. They let us use their backyard. Mm-hmm. Also, Grandma and Grandpa to some of the participants in the camp out. You and I get out of our tent, sore backs, because, as you mentioned, we're in our 30s. Yeah. Just not a great night of sleep. But, hey, maybe this was fun. And then here come the boys walking out because Grandma let them stay in the house because they needed to charge their phones. And right in that moment, I said, I'm no longer doing this camp out.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it anymore.
Right, yeah. So I'm just saying, so it takes us 2 years to figure things out. And, Mari, actually, my daughter, or as I, well, okay. So anyways, she, being involved with volleyball, they did, I think, 2 years. I think they did do a lock-in at the school. This year, she's in high school. They didn't do that. They spent a whole day together, team bonding. But, I'm absolutely all in favor for other people hosting a lock-in. That are
or I don't have to attend.
Professionals that have the space. Or a lock-in with a clearly stated bedtime. I'm also in favor of that. That's the kind of lock-in I'm for.
I think I had, when I was in youth group, I had one lock-in that they ran at our church. And much like this other one, I am a night owl.
Yeah.
But I took 2 friends who did not attend church, and we were the only 3 that stayed up all night long. Everybody else, except for 1 or 2 adult chaperones, I think the chaperones even, I think there was a set that stayed until like midnight, and then 2 more people came in.
Yeah.
Like they cheated. But I was the only one, me and my 2 friends that I took were the only ones that stayed up all night out of the children, so.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You had that badge of honor.
I guess.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so I'm on favor of that. I think I had attended. I did. There's a lock-in at a YMCA I got to go to. We did what was it? In my teen group, we did as like a lockout or something. But we were supposed to be locked out of the church building, and you were supposed to find a way in to the building. Something was hidden or something, but they were supposed to be guards, and if they caught you, they'd put you in the nursery or something.
Yeah, it's a strong message. Lock the church.
Yeah, and so
we don't want your kind in here.
that's it. It's helped me. It's helped shape me. So, although that's what when you said the word lock-in and when you're talking about this, it really, again, thinking about expanding, that I have actually tried more times than I can count. I've stopped counting or haven't counted. To do a lock-in with you and your wife. I really have. And every time that I talk about being locked in with this rhino, every time you tell me no.
Okay, let's specify. This isn't just like a regular lock-in at a church. You mentioned a rhino. Explain to people what it is.
Yeah, well, it's not a
I mean, we
animal.
have like 13. We go all the way down to Athens now.
Yeah.
So don't just say I'm doing this, and we're not trying to bring a rhino into the church.
No.
But basically, you want me to go with you and your wife, almost like a double date slumber party.
There you go.
To this
Good
place down by Zanesville, of all places, that has wild and exotic animals, because that has never worked out bad for Zanesville ever before. And
Terry Thompson.
And you want me to sleep in a tent surrounded by these massive animals
Yeah, they're
with
respectful.
3-foot man impalers coming out of their noses.
2.5 feet, but go ahead.
And your idea is of fun is to spoon a rhino.
Well, now, see, that's the whole misunderstanding. So let me clarify for you and the people at home. Let me clarify of that. And if I told you before, they're actually building one now for the giraffes. So again, you've been all worried about the impalers on their head, but a giraffe doesn't have that, and we'd be perfectly fine right next to the rhinos.
But they have those long, nasty tongues. So
that's why.
Am I wrong?
Exhibits, in both spots, they have a spot where they will bring said animal. So, in this case, the rhino. If he will be there, he doesn't get to come to your bed. He doesn't get to be around the fire. He is in his little thing that you can take a sweet potato, you can pet him, you can lock eyes with him, do whatever you want, but he's over there. Now, his friends might get interested, going like, well, hey, why is Larry in the cage? And, these people smell different. They might come, but they're all on the outside, and they're very well-trained and well-behaved animals. I've been there several times. No issues ever. It's a wonderful experience.
you know how I ask your wife all the time, because she's an Old Testament person, and I say, who hurt you as a child? Jeremiah laughs because it's absolutely true. I want to know what happened in your life that made sleeping around a 3-ton animal
There you go.
with a 3-foot man impaler, or sorry, 2.5 man impaler coming out of their nose. Like, what made that seem? Like, what happened to you? Like, we've talked about, like, how somehow your eating habits are because of Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
Right, we figured that out.
But
We have answers there.
So I've dubbed your eating habits the Tommy Pickles disease. So what makes just cuddling up with a rhino just so?
I mean, when people think of Scott Fisher, they think adventurous.
Yeah.
and
So this one's called.
that's-
This one. This episode is about fitting in, and then we're gonna talk about spooning rhinos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wonder why you never fit in.
I have to just find my community. I'm gonna start putting ads out, finding
Well,
my people.
Have you gotten any? Because other people have since come to church, and I've heard that I've heard you invite them.
I did, yeah.
Has anybody gone?
We haven't planned, but I did get a couple. There was a couple that I brought it up to them, and they said yeah.
Yeah.
So I just need to
Well,
plan it.
They were lying, and they need to repent.
But I don't know if I brought it up to this other couple, but the secondary couple, they would be able to take on the rhino. They would do well against a rhino. So, I don't know how to be more generic about.
Because they're tall.
Yes.
Yeah, they would do better against the giraffes.
Well, that I can't. I like these people. I'm not gonna. That's how. But anyways,
I mean,
these people.
I've seen the here's. We had a zoo pass.
Okay.
I have seen. Actually, this wasn't even with my children. I was on a field trip with a class that I worked with one time to the Columbus Zoo. Mm-hmm. I watched a rhino. It was laying down or something. It got up, walked over to this boulder, turned around, sat on this boulder. I'm like, is it doing tricks for us? It proceeded to move its hindquarters up and down. It was scratching its butt, is what it was doing. So there's your rhino. And I fed the giraffes at the Columbus Zoo. You can go pay $1 or however, way too much for 3 pieces of lettuce.
Correct.
And they will stick that big, black, nasty tongue out, and it feels super weird, and they will eat the lettuce out of your hands. Done it all. Don't need to sleep there. I have a perfectly comfortable bed within the confines of my own home, where there are also firearms if any unwanted animals with big horns decide to come through.
Well, I'm sure they send something out. Someone from the organization goes out there with you, just in case there ever was a mishap or that they need to be fed.
So you're spooning an animal, and you have to do it with a stranger.
It's okay. I'm telling you, that's experiences. You and I have talked about and agree that this life is short, and there are things we don't get to experience hereafter.
We went whitewater rafting. Jeremiah fell in the river.
Yeah.
We experienced that. What more do you need?
Wow.
Which was hilarious, but that was part of our summer break.
That was.
As we hear this, we go through the rapid, and somebody's like, "Oh, overboard!" And then I see this head go floating by us. I was like, "Oh, it's Jeremiah!"
It's Jeremiah.
So,
Yes. But only once. And it was right off the bat.
only once.
And
Out of all the boats that went out that day, ours was the only one that anybody fell out of.
Yep, we had 2. And
Yep.
yep. And it's my first time. Thought it
Ankles
was a
overhead, never a good idea.
Yep. So
Anywho, fitting in
fitting in.
is not going and sleeping with rhinos, but try again.
Though that's my community I'm reaching out to. I wanna fit in with those kind of people.
Joe Exotic.
That's this guy. So
I think you should reevaluate your type of people.
I feel like I'm being a good friend by saying, I don't think you actually want to do that. So,
well, I don't want the rhino to sit on me.
Yeah,
but that's
I
why
mean,
he's in his pen and
it's
I'm in my
like I want to say it was within the first 3 months of us meeting that you tried to get us to do this with you too.
It was after, as we said, after
Yeah.
the world shut down. I mean, that does things to people, and you have to get out of your house, get away.
It's a wonder why people think you're weird.
Doesn't make
3
sense to
months.
me.
Hey, friend, we just getting to know each other. Let's go sleep with rhinos.
I am
All right,
very out there.
get to your topics. we're on. Remember, we're on a time crunch.
Yes, we are. So fitting in or seeking validation and again can get if you have any experience as well. But growing up, like I said, I think this is true about everyone. But for me, I know I wanted to be liked. Didn't want to be the odd person out. whether we talked in the last one about moving, and so, well, hey, new kid, or that, hey, don't look like everyone else. We talked about growing up, I had a brother, and for 1 year for Halloween, him and I both dressed up as the Red Power Ranger. He actually looked like the Power Ranger. I looked like the one who sat on the couch all day. In second grade, the first day of second grade, I don't know how long it was that my dad had been shaving or had been bald, but for whatever reason, the first day of second grade, I had shaved. I went bald as well. The only time I've ever done it. Only time. But
Actually, when we get to my part, I'll tell you mental note.
But, be like him. You can also, as far as being like people or whatever is, I did in high school, or what would it have been, 2004? After whenever 2004 and beyond was, I had my jean shorts. I had
with the jorts.
Yep.
I also wore jorts. Did you have the Jinko jorts that went all the way down to your ankles?
Well, no, that's not what John wore.
That's not what. Oh, goodness gracious!
I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious when I stated it. So he knows. I mean, look up.
And yet here we are, 20 years later, and the man's still in wrestling wearing them. Yep. He's promised us he's leaving. He better leave.
He did, and he says once that the 10th time's up and this year's over with, it'll be in suits and everything else. The jean shorts are being hung up, but yeah. So that it was funny. Growing up, I had two different styles of hair. I watched Grease, and I wanted to have my hair long enough to be like Danny, and I had a leather jacket and I had a comb in it. By the same hand, I wanted short hair like John Cena. So for the plays, I allowed my hair to grow out and everything else, so I could style it, do whatever. But then once that was over with, I'd cut my hair back down and all that stuff. Living through someone. But maybe that's a whole nother topic. So
yeah.
Your friend's gonna like this. So, anyways, but I wanted to be liked. Growing up, I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted the other boys to be my friends as well. That, if I said it in second grade, I think is my first girlfriend. We were walking around the track, and as we're walking around, she goes, "Hey, we're dating." I said, "Perfect." And so we were walking a few more steps, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, we're dating now, so I'm walking with you." And she goes, "Well, we're breaking up." And so all of 8 seconds, we had dated. So it was over with. That's the same girl I had my first vanilla Coke with. That her grandparents had a pool and a hot tub, and I went over there and everything, but it was my first time I had a vanilla Coke in a can. Was with her, yep. But, all these other people, my mom and dad were together, they were a couple. You see it on TV. Like I said, Grease, the other guys were getting girls, so I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted friends. And, I tried athletics. And
how'd that work out for you?
Well, I know I've talked about it, whether it's been on here or not, but I did baseball. I didn't mind the pitching machine, but when I got old enough to play where my friends were throwing the ball, I felt like they were throwing the ball at me, and so I quit. I had a little chest protector and all this stuff, but I kept getting hit, and so I'm like, well, this isn't the sport for me. I grew up in Indiana, so I played basketball, but wasn't the best shot, wasn't the fastest, wasn't XYZ.
What else is in Indiana?
That
shuck corn.
I did in 7th grade. I played football. I didn't start off playing. I was just going to be a water boy or whatever. And at the end of one of our games, the opposing team shut the lights off early on us. We weren't even gone yet, and they shut the lights off. And I was like, "Coach, I want to play." Oh, I think these people were rude and disrespectful. I want to play. So then, I got a jersey and got to play for a few games. But yeah, that just wasn't me. If I've told you the story about trying to learn to play instruments, I thought, I see people pick these things up, and I don't see the hard work that goes into learning an instrument. And my great grandpa, could play guitar. So I had gotten this little one, whatever, and I'm going to learn from him. And he's like, oh, so you need to play a G. A G? Yeah, then an A. And I'm like, Grandpa, I just wanted to strum and be good. I didn't know you had to learn. So that was out for me.
Yeah, no. Our producer, Music Man over there,
Yeah.
knows how ridiculous. And me, who has tried to learn an instrument or two, and I knew it was going to be work, and I still couldn't pick it up. I'm not musically inclined at all.
No.
I like music, love
No.
going to live music and everything, but that sounds ridiculous to me. So when you actually have a man that actually knows how to do it over there, to watch his reaction is also just very special right now. So.
Yeah. Well, I understand. That wasn't the last few years. That was many years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But the case was, I thought, hey, maybe I'll try that out. And it wasn't. Okay, so I've tried all those things. What's left? Singing, right? Well, do I like to sing? Yes. Am I good at it? That's a different question. And so... I sound really good singing with the radio.
Listen, I Christian love you like a brother. Love you enough to tell you the truth. No, you're not. You should be like me when it comes to leading and singing.
There you go. Yeah.
I would offer to do it, but I'm afraid you'd say
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. But last episode you talked about Chris Farley. I did find comedy was a way to connect with people. That with my size, I found I could move in certain ways. I found to be hilarious.
Basically, you're Bobby Hill.
A little bit. Yep. I mean, I didn't put it together until just right now, but yeah.
There you go. That's me.
Bobby? 6 a.m. and already that boy ain't right.
Put down them Digi games.
Also, I guess the theme is that the three of us watch inappropriate cartoons. Hey!
Hey. Yeah. I found this stuff, make people laugh. I found that, again, that in talent shows, you don't necessarily have to sing. You can lip sync, or again, you can perform, and I'm good at that.
Yes.
Entertaining. And so when I stopped trying to be the school athlete and stopped trying to be those things, right? That is when, in high school and those things, that I was able to do something I enjoyed. I was able to do whatever, and that I got those friends. I got XYZ, and so now down here, I wanted to do what they were doing, and but what they were doing and what they were good at is not what I was good at, those athletes and all that stuff never dreamed or thought about getting on the stage or doing that stuff. Yeah. And so, and that's okay. They got to play on Friday nights. People got to cheer them on. People got to do that stuff. They got to come out to the talent shows, cheer me on, do this, that, the other. I've probably told you this before, and I think there is somewhere in this world a video of it. You'd have to ask the right person this stuff. But for my senior year, every year at the end of the school year, the high school has their spring musical, but then they have an award show. And at their award show, it's like a talent show. So not only do they give out awards, but then there are skits and performances. And so for my senior year, I did the Chip and Dale Chris Farley skit.
Yep. Yep.
So there is video of that.
This is a Christian podcast, but
that
I'm also able to do that dance.
I
also know that it brings great joy to people.
It does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got to be in high school. My senior year, I got to be part of the media class, and that was something, again, they were able to put me in front of a camera and those things and just be myself. And I actually got to show all three of my kids have now seen my DVD. The people I took that class with compiled the videos, and so
Fair enough.
there are the little 5-minute
Yeah.
videos, whatever. But then they've also did like a wrap up at the end, and they did a like sad one, like Scott's graduating, he's leaving us.
Yeah.
And then there's also a sped up fun version. But I get to be a groundhog. I get to be a leprechaun. All sorts of different stuff. I get to be talked about. I grew up for a few years in Newburgh, and that school there is Castle, but that was our rival at Boonville. So our media group, for some reason, had their basketball uniform with real short shorts, and so I got to wear those. Yeah.
So you did a lot to try to fit in.
Oh, I did a lot of things.
Well, let me give a gander at your list here. Let's see.
Fitting in, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be liked. I was usually the most liked among my friend group.
Mm-hmm.
I've always kind of been the loner with the outcasts or whatever. So, I thought I'd give Christianity a try.
See, there's a spot for you.
That's an absolute joke. I also use my sense of humor in a lot of things. Let's see. I wanted a girlfriend. I liked girls, yes. I mean, what else is there to say? I had a girlfriend. You told a story about a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend in the first grade. Yes. Her name was Danielle. Not Jeremiah's Danielle.
Yep.
I remember her last name. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
Because it is rather, I don't want to say inappropriate. It's her name.
Yeah.
But it's funny. But basically, when I told people her last name, adults, they would crack up laughing, and I didn't understand why. And then as I got older, and I said her name again, and I was like, and I was an adult, I was like, oh, that poor girl had that whole last name.
Yeah.
But it was funny. You were like, you guys broke up. We broke up.
Dead married.
I can't remember if it was first grade. It was first grade because I remember this. When you come in from recess, you had to line up in class. Straight line, be quiet, so you could go inside. Right? It's very militaristic, whatever. But who cares? Right? Like line up, be quiet. And so we were, and then if you did that, you got a sticker. Class with the most stickers at a certain end of a quarter or whatever got a pizza party. I really wanted that pizza party.
Okay.
One day, her and the weird kid, and he was the weird kid, he was the one that stood at the urinal with his pants around his ankles.
Butters.
Pretty much. She had these steel toe boots, and she would try to kick people. Well, he would get on her nerves. So this one day, he's trying to get on her nerves. She's trying to kick him in the boy parts with these steel toe boots. Ooh. And I'm standing at the, like it was the weird kid, her, and then me at the back. And I'm literally standing there, and I'm like, stop it! Because, not that I was worried about her injuring this young man. As I said, he was a weirdo. But...
Weirdos can get butters, I don't care.
But... I was like, we're not going to get a sticker, and I want this pizza party. Well, when I yelled at them to stop, she turned around and said, you're cheating on me, and we broke up right then and there. We were in the first grade. I love the looks, because even so, I was like confused as a 6-year-old. Like, what is cheating? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, she's yelling at me. The whole way, this should have been my first key about marriage. She proceeded to berate me the whole walk back into the building.
Lessons learned.
Right? And then our teacher heard her say, I was like, I'm not cheating on you. And she's like, yes, you are. My teacher hears this. She proceeds to crack up laughing. So there was my first girlfriend. I'll tell you her last name off air.
Yeah.
Because I actually do feel really bad for her having to grow up.
I'm still trying to figure out where you get female steel-toed boots for a 6-year-old.
Oh, they're out there. They're out there.
The OSHA requirements for the
Was it what was the I'm pretty sure they were that the company that sponsored the WWF. They had Lugs boots. I'm pretty sure they were Lugs. But yeah, so there was that. Another time I dyed my hair because my friend dyed my hair, or my neighbor who we were friends dyed his hair, and he dyed it strawberry blonde. It's not much up there now. But my dark hair, we tried to do that. It turned out orange. Luckily, it was going into summer, so it lightened up. But by the time it turned blonde, I had to do one of them raccoon haircuts where the bottom half was black, top, yes. And then after that, I also frosted my tips.
Okay.
One time. Like the Backstreet Boys, but it wasn't because of the Backstreet Boys. It was just because the ladies seemed to like it. The other thing I remember is there was one girl who... I don't know why I did this, but I did the Carson Daly black nail polish on the rock and roll horns. I was probably 12 or 13 years old at that time. So, yeah, it was black nail polish right on these 3 fingers, both hands. My dad yelled at me. But that girl she was really cute, so I was really trying to...
I was going to say, there's...
I mean, if Samson... can meet his demise for a woman, I feel like I should get away with a little bit of nail polish.
Come on, Dad.
But I don't know. I mean, I know we've met our time, so wrapping up, put a bow on it. I've always kind of run with like kind of the outcast crowd, but I've kind of gotten along with everybody for the most part. There's obviously some people that I wouldn't like, and they wouldn't like me very much because I'm very sarcastic and I would make fun of them. That was growing up. As an adult, go away. I have no desire to kind of fit in. I like to do what I like to do, and I have a very small group of very close friends. Have the people at church. Like you said, it's nice to be around like-minded people and stuff. But my children have recently started playing sports. I've coached youth sports for a long time now. I'm very much the dad that sits up and away from everybody. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me to volunteer to do stuff. Leave me alone. So that's kind of where I'm at today. But as a kid, like you said, I think everybody wants to fit in. Nobody wants to be made fun of.
Yeah.
So you do what you can. And like you said, laughter is a very good... I've always been super sarcastic. And I think I've actually made as many friends as I have enemies with my sense of humor, probably, as a child, so...
Well, I think, you can talk about introverts and extroverts, and I think even with introverts, there is a point, and again, if you want to tie it into the Bible in some way, some point, is, Adam, God created Adam, was in garden, in almost a perfect place, and had all these animals and all these things, and yet God still said, hey, these animals have someone comparables. They have a mate. They have someone, and you're alone. Yeah, you got these, but they don't match up. In fact, that's what it says. It says there's not a helper comparable to him that was found. So yeah, they had their spot. They had their place and all that stuff. But even Adam needed Eve, and so now again we see Jesus where he does take time away from his 12 disciples, and he goes and he has alone time, and he has. So, nothing wrong with that, but the truth of the matter is that we do need each other. We do need one another, and so, but I think both of you and I would agree, having gone through high school, having this, that, the other, those people that we thought their opinions mattered and had value and those things are people that you and I don't talk to anymore, that their view, the way the world, that stuff, right,
have you ever had an old friend you stop talking to, and then they kind of like you run into them one day and you're like, I still enjoy that person, but I'm not missing much by that relationship. I've had that happen once or twice where it's kind of like they were a good friend back then, but
in 2021 would have been 10-year anniversary, or 10, is that how you say? I don't know, 10-year reunion. And so they actually did do something. And so I got to see some of those people and everything. And it was right at the time that we were moving forward with our adoption, or that we were starting our adoption classes, and so we were filling people in. Some of the people had kids. Some people were not married. Some people were, still in town. Other people, like the one girl, she had to come in from Texas or something.
Yeah.
And so it was good, and they got to meet my wife Hannah. She was there at the time and these things. But that's a whole different life. That's a whole,
Yeah.
And that too. One of the things that crossed my mind was that not only of thinking those people had power, authority, value, whatever, but like I said, of when I stopped trying to be that athlete that I wasn't, when I stopped trying to be that thing, then it didn't matter because, well, hey,
Yeah.
I found these people in drama, and that's who I am, or of the media group. There were people in that media group that understood the computer and they knew how to edit and do all that stuff. They didn't ask me to do that, right? They put me in front of the camera, not behind the camera.
Yeah.
Okay. So finding out what my strengths were in those things and shining in that area allowed people to, oh, well, this is who Scott is. Just like, oh, so-and-so was a good basketball player. So-and-so was a good football player. So-and-so is a good singer. So-and-so is good, and people got to know them for who they were. People got to know me for. So I think, a word of caution for any of our, young viewers. Those who are still in school, those who feel peer pressure,
If anybody who hasn't turned it off yet.
They could still be, for some people, trying to fit in or do stuff. There's a desire for community. There's a desire, and maybe we don't do it at the end of every episode of this stuff, but absolutely, we would be more than happy to encourage you to come to Somerset to learn about our community, to worship with us, to get to know us. We have plenty of events, things you come out to. I'm
laughing because I just said this. I just got a text or a message from my son's football team asking for volunteers to do stuff tonight.
Look at that.
That is all my wife.
There you go. But thinking about the church, and the Bible talks about this too, is it's a body, and talks about of being different parts of a body, being a hand, being a foot, being the nose, being the eye, the ear. They're different functions that we look differently, and so, here at Somerset, we've got people that are older, we got people that are younger, we got young families, we've got, this, that, the other, and so we're all at different stages, all different places in life, but we can be that faith community with one another, we can be that people.
We're a progressive church, but not really.
Not really.
That's our tagline. Inside joke, but absolutely.
I like it.
Yep.
Well,
Read the script.
back to this page.
Word for word, buddy.
Yes.
Don't skip.
So thanks for giving us a listen or a watch. We hope you learned some things, and we hope you laughed along with us. Join us next week for the Messy Dads Merry Hearts podcast.
See ya.